Welcome to Tuesday Tips for Transformation. I'm Washayla Sananda, and this week I turned 50 years old. I'm half a century old now, and what I've learned is 50 is fabulous. I went in with a little apprehension. How is it going to feel to not be in my 40s anymore? And what I can say I now know is that 50 is just this empowerment opportunity, this opportunity to step even more fully into my purpose and more visibility and more authenticity. And and ideally less resistance. So really what's been coming up for me this week is like, where is that resistance and how can I lean into it and allow myself to surrender, to let go, and when I can't let go, to just be with it, to be present with it. So on the night before my birthday, I sent out an email to my entire list. And I just let everyone know, hey, I'm turning 50 tomorrow or today because it went out on the day of my birthday. And then I asked, what is it that you would like me to share more of this week? And so I'd ask the same to you if you haven't shared that yet this month, this year. What would you like me to share more of with you? And then, I really found a release, a liberation in owning that, in letting, the 10,000 people on my email list know that I'm 50 and letting my entire, my whole world, my circle. There's a liberation in sharing what we don't want to share, right? In stepping into visibility when we're afraid to be visible, in letting people see us in our vulnerability. And for me, that's really been a gateway into surrender, into opening, into expansion, and into transformation, which ultimately is the process of ascension, embodied ascension. And so what I'd really like to invite you into in this conversation today is to contemplate, where is your resistance coming up? What are you standing in resistance to? And what are you willing to give up in order to let that resistance go? And we get something out of our resistance, and we get to stand in being right, in thinking that we've got everything under control. We get to sort of by not confronting those things that cause us the biggest fear or concern, we sort of get to stick our head in the sand and pretend that they don't exist. But none of that is actually sustainable, and none of that leads to transformation. And if you're following me and watching what I share, then chances are you are probably up for transformation, and transformation quickly. Why linger in the things that hold us back? No, this is all about movement and gaining momentum in the process of ascension. And while it's not a race, it's also not about stalling out, because the time is now. The time is always now. And we don't get back the time that we have spent. I don't get back the first 50 years of my life. I've gained from them. I've landed where I am, and I'm grateful for them. And now it's the next 50 years of my life. And so time is of the essence, and time is valuable. And I'm going to stand in like allowing myself the greatest expansion in the least amount of time. And what that shows up like for me is leaning in to doing the thing that I don't want to do, letting myself go to those places that I've resisted going when I'm feeling something that doesn't feel comfortable, like digging into that discomfort. What is this about? Where am I holding it in my body? What am I holding on to in the pattern of my energetic expression, that I could repattern, that I could have function in a coherent way instead of in a chaotic way? And that only comes from looking at it, from addressing it, and then from surrendering it and then ultimately to stepping into alignment and balance and peace. And then I have transformed that. I have alchemized that incoherence into alignment, into harmony, into balance. So, really, what I would love for you to take home today from this conversation is, or take to heart, your heart is your home. What is it that you are resisting in your life? What is it that has stopped you from stepping more fully into your expression of being, or into your visibility? Or maybe it's your business success, or maybe it's your success in your relationship. Maybe it's connectedness and intimacy. Maybe it is spiritual expression and expansion. But what is it that is stopping you? What are you resisting about moving more deeply into the truth of your being, and into what will cause you to truly be successful in your path, in your mission in this lifetime? And I invite you to share with me whatever that is, whatever it is that you've been resisting. Also consider, what are you getting out of it in not looking at it? Maybe it's just feeling comfortable. Maybe you're getting comfort. Maybe you're getting the feeling of being okay. But what's below that feeling? And when you address things like this, when you address your resistance, sometimes things that come up aren't comfortable. So do you have the willingness to be uncomfortable? And this is, what are you willing to give up? Are you willing to give up being right? Or are you willing to give up feeling comfortable to go to your next level, to maybe go to forgiveness, to get to a place of balance and alignment and peace? Because that discomfort ultimately will lead you in the direction of surrender and forgiveness, if that's required, or allowing, or an opening. And then through that opening is your peace. I wish you the greatest peace and transformation, even if it means you get to be uncomfortable in the process of getting there. Share with me in the comments below what you heard me say. What is your experience of resistance? What are you willing to give up for transformation and for your peace? I love you. Thank you for sharing this moment with me today. Namaste.